And they took those 200 Jews away into a field, nearby field, and they shot them dead.
A timeless story that must live forever. But what happens when no one is around to tell us their story anymore?
It came in 1941 when they decided to attack Russia, and things changed completely then, because previously we were not brutalised, and we certainly were allowed our religion, we were allowed to go to our synagogues. But as soon as the Germans came, the whole situation changed dramatically and barbarically.
Keeping these stories alive for future generations is key to educating people about the Holocaust and preventing history from repeating itself.
Most children, most adults will have some grasp of history. Most of it will be quite dry. Even the Holocaust, with all its dramatic and tragic consequences, can sometimes be presented just as a slice of history with dates and figures and numbers. Giving testimony, giving first-hand account of what actually happened at that time is the most compelling thing students will ever listen to. We are in danger of losing all that as a resource here at the centre when they all are no longer with us.
They entered the synagogue, the Grand Synagogue, removed all the books of the law, all the prayer books and the scrolls of the law, and they threw them out in the streets and they lit a bonfire. Then they ordered the rabbi to dance around this bonfire, which was quite humiliating. And I know this, I was still a baby, I was still a very small child then, because my father, as soon as the Germans came, he started to write a diary at first, and then later, after the war, he wrote a manuscript, 41 pages, which tells me and everyone else that this is what they did. The next thing they did, they ordered the local authorities to give them the names of 200 dangerous Jews, whatever that was, those Jews that might get in the way of them doing what they intended to do, which was to kill the Jews. And they took those 200 Jews away into a field, nearby field, and they shot them dead. Right in front of anyone that might have been passing by. They weren't concerned, because that put the fear of death into everyone, not just the Jews.
The Holocaust is an example of where of society, where values in society have gone missing. People have made choices that have led to, in regards to the Holocaust, the murder of 6 million Jewish men, women and children. So therefore all age groups form a community, all age groups have to make decisions, and so it's therefore important that we educate from a very young age. One of the things we do know from our recent research is that stereotypical attitudes can be formed by the age of 11. So actually the work we do at this centre in terms of educating primary school children is even more crucial if we are going to influence attitudes prior to that age.
The survivors' stories will be kept alive in the form of a digital projection, which is essential for the younger generations who eventually won't have that opportunity to hear the story firsthand from a survivor.
There is nothing and will be nothing ever to replace the individual, the person live there that you can go and touch, say hello to. But this is very close. And what it will do is to make sure that at the end of the visit to the exhibition here, at the end of their learning programme, this whole experience is brought to this very personal level. Much of what we do here is about exactly that, making sure that people never forget that it's not about 10 million, 11 million, 6 million, whatever the number is people have got in their head, it's about individual people. So by meeting those individual people, by questioning them, they can really, really understand what happened.
My father started to make plans to escape. What he did, he sold most of our valuables, and he used the money to buy small bars of gold. The largest one was 8 ounces, today worth about £10,000. And he would use the bars to pay for hiding places, to pay for food, to pay for papers that were needed if we were stopped. And my father actually used one of the gold bars to pay a guard, a German guard, to allow us to escape from the ghetto.
A historic moment fueled by prejudice, teaching children to never judge a person by their looks or religion. This is what the Holocaust Centre prioritises.
And one of the key things we do in this exhibition, which is the Journey exhibition for primary school pupils, is about focusing on those early signs of prejudice, discrimination. And what we're working with young people to do is become critical thinkers, not to accept all the information they're receiving without going away and thinking, can I look at another source of information? Is what I'm receiving correct? So really to challenge information. But also the second key thing as well is, and this is where young people, we work with them to think how they can make a difference, is to focus on identity, that each of us has got a multifaceted identity. That you might be Jewish, but you could also have been German, you might be British, and so on. And it's about not allowing other people to target an element of that identity. It involves survivors going up to York, spending 5 days where they not only share their testimony, but then they spend the time answering these 1,000 plus questions. We've tried to replicate, in a sense, the best we can what that experience is in our memorial hall, and that experience is listening to a testimony but engaging the question and answer. And the fact that we've managed to do that using technology to maintain that relationship between the audience and the survivor, I have no doubt will keep that interest and that engagement with the public.
Children can gain a deeper understanding of the events of the Holocaust through seeing a survivor and hearing their personal experience.
He's actually been in that time, and I'd love to go back and see what it was like. But I think it's better because then it's real. It feels more real because he's actually been telling us about it, what he went through.
It'll be good to hear his experience and the things he's been through, and it'll feel more real.
Yeah, it will be interesting because he's been through everything, and it'll be interesting to see how somebody's point of view has actually been in that situation.
We've learnt quite a lot about the Holocaust and how people the experiences they've had to be through.
And you?
And I really enjoyed it the most because I've learnt how the different types of dates there has been through the Holocaust and when World War started.
I think it's extremely important because you need to know that could be your ancestors. You need to learn about your ancestors' past.
The act that actually got me interested in the Holocaust was discovering this place, Beth Shalom, the Holocaust Memorial Centre as it was then, because it opened my eyes and I was given an opportunity to tell my story and pass on other information about the wrongs that were committed during the war against the Jews, but against other people that the Germans or the Nazi Germans decided were life unworthy of life, and they finished up killing people.
These life-changing testimonies will make a significant difference to the teaching at the Holocaust Centre, proving that technology can really help a story live forever.
Well, expecting a number of things. One is that we continue to have very large numbers of visitors from schools and from universities, from colleges. The second is that we can reach more people, because if it is film, even though it's very clever film, we can put it in different places at the same time. We can look to join with some of our partners and have collaborations, partnerships up and down the country. I would love to see it in different parts of the UK.
I just have so many questions and lessons to be learned. Constantly I'm being tested by a world that took a turn in the wrong direction. When I thought I couldn't lose, feeling the suppression of everything that I believe is true. Who can save me now? Play it down, it's amazing how you can say it loud and break it down, but it's just not getting through. I wanna change, tired of the blame, giving up the pain I'm due. For a new plane where my thoughts are the same as the world I'm born into. I'm feeling the shadow inside a rise, thinking on the new from where it's manifesting right before my eyes. I have tried to hold it back and been too afraid to ask. All these lies have built my past, so when will I remove this mask? Yeah, and I just wanna feel connected. Haven't felt the light in so long, I've been scared that I'll forget it. Yeah, and I just wanna feel connected. Haven't felt the light in so long, I've been scared that I'll forget it.